Okay, hello. We're gonna start the how to use a Python script to download your Ancestry matches for use in Charting Companion. In the chat, I put the links to the script and to download Python. Basically, whoops, sorry. Let me start sharing my screen. If you go to Python, just hit download, and then it should automatically detect whether you're running Windows, Mac, Linux. You just download it and then install it. You will also let me go back. To yeah, here's the script written by John Andrea on GitHub. This is the file you want, the extract matches to a csv.py. There's also a README here if you want to go through, and this will kind of run you through how to use it. You do have to type, it's not like a point and click, so you have to do some typing. But it's fairly straightforward. This will kind of give you a rundown of how to do it. But I'll also be covering it. One of the requirements is that it requires you to save your Ancestry matches as a text file. The only browser I found of that does it is Firefox. I checked. Edge will only save as an HTML file. Chrome and Safari will only save as an HTML file. So that's why I recommend getting Firefox. There's other browsers out there that might. There's Opera. It might do it, might not. I don't know. I've never used Opera. And there's other browsers too. But in a sense, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Ancestry, bring up your matches. And now, however many matches you want, because here you can scroll down to the bottom and then it will load more. So basically, just keep scrolling down till you get as many as you want. I mean, you can go clear down to the 8 centimorgan ones if you want. I'll just do this far. I mean, just as an example. So you're going to just right click, save page as, and then you want to select it as a text file. And then, yeah, I'll just overwrite that file. And then so you just save it and make sure you select it as a text file. And now if you've got other kits that you want to download, you can download them, just call it a different name. So if you go to another test, you can do that. Do the same thing, save it, just call it something different. Now in genealogy. So now here in this directory, here's where I save that text file. I'm gonna delete those files. And here's that extract matches to CSV. And if you want to, you can rename it. So it's because you are going to have to type in this name. If you want, you can rename it to make sure it has the PY extension. If you ever want to look at it, this is the language, where basically it's, if you're not into programming, this probably isn't going to make too much sense. And you don't have to understand this. I mean, it just works. Probably the one thing you will do, as I see in here, this thing is hard coded, it's got a minimum centimorgans at 22. So if you want like all your matches, you may want to change that down to 8, or you know, whatever you want as a minimum. So and this matches.csv, that will be the file name. If you want to call it something else, you can just change it, you know, just make sure it keeps that CSV extension. So then save it. Now then, so okay, you've installed Python, you've downloaded the match file. And like I said, if you can have multiple match files here, just make sure they have different names. They're always going to default to this one. Now you have to open up your command prompt. That's CMD, Charlie, Mary, David. And then now we have to go to this directory, wherever you saved it. So C:/CD. Okay, so now I'm in this directory. Now we type in Python, because this is a Python script, and then we want to run extract matches to csv.py. So we ran it, and all of a sudden here it made this matches.csv file. It wasn't there before. I can delete it. I can run it again. And there, boom, it recreates it. And if we open it, you know, it's just a very simple file. It's got, you know, name 1, name 2, centimorgans, ID 1, ID 2. This is all Charting Companion needs. You know, and it doesn't even need the names. This is more for you than Charting Companion. Because here's me, the test taker. Here are my matches. Here's the centimorgans. This ID 1, you can see this same. This is how Ancestry knows me. Then this is how Ancestry knows all my matches. Okay. So yeah, don't have to save it. Now we'll go into, we'll start up Charting Companion. I'm using Family Tree Maker, store all my genealogy data. Actually, let me just back up a bit. Because like, I created a DNA kit fact. You can also use DNA markers that's built into Family Tree Maker. I think Roots Magic 7 can't use the DNA markers fact, so they added the DNA kit. And at the time I was using both, so I just used the DNA kit fact. You can use them interchangeably. But then, you know, this is the DNA kit. This is how you can tie people in the match file to people in your tree. So if I look at my great aunt Evelyn, you know, she will show up in that match file. Let me just search for Evelyn. Yeah, there, Evelyn, and the, yeah, Evelyn. See, there's that number 88CBB or something. That is exactly how that is. That's that exact same number. So that's how it ties it in. And like I've got the DNA kit fact in for me and all the other matches I found. So we'll go into Charting Companion. And we go like we're gonna do the DNA matrix. Contents, For this, I don't need to do that. And I just kind of like just doing the years. Make sure you're doing all the enough generations to get down. Change out layout. I like spouse below. Color, use family tree maker. Gender, that's fine. DNA matrix, we have to tell it to display the DNA matrix. And now here's where we're at in the file, the match file. So just go to where I saved it. There's the matches. Okay, now Charting Pane does not recognize this format, which that's fine. You just click OK. It says it's undefined. That's fine too. If we click on View, click on View. Yep, it gives that thing. Okay, so we have to give names to these 5 columns. So column 3, well, this is the centimorgans. Column 4, this is kit 1. Column 5, this is kit 2. I mean, if we want, we can go on and say that's name 1 and name 2, but these, that's optional. Charting Companion doesn't use them. But so here we've labeled those kits. So we can say, okay. Now it's saying, okay, it's user defined. And now if we go back here, see it creates this header file. So that way, as long as we keep that same file name, you won't have to keep redefining this. It will just know it. And now, okay, we can show the relationship, probability, and now we can hit preview. And the first thing it does is it goes through, it's always a descendants chart, so it goes through and finds all the DNA kit packs, and then it'll load the match file and then look for all the matches. And then likewise, sometimes when like here a father and son tested, they will kind of overlap, so we just kind of scoot them over. Yeah. Then this is how they show, and see, I've got a little thing here to find out that somewhere it looks like I matched too low for this relationship. So it's like, oops. So Evelyn and my grandma are likely half sisters, and well, who knows, maybe Louise and do it too. So, but I've got more DNA testing to do. But anyway, in a nutshell, that's basically all there is to it. And in the script, if you do kind of look for it, let me go back to Ancestry here. Let me just do another test here. Let me go to where's that one? No, here, I'll do my mom. And let's just scroll down, get some more data. That's good enough. I'm going to save this. So this now, I've got to call this something else. So maybe I'll just call this one. Oops. No, mom's matches. So now I've got 2 text files now here. Oh, whoops. That's saved as an HTML. Yeah. Oh, text, yeah. Oh, okay, that was just, okay, it was a text file, but anyway. So, okay, so matches, that match file is about 35K. This is a trick on command. If you just hit F3, it will redo what you last typed. Okay. Oh, yeah, I've got the file open. Yeah. Okay, it took a while. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so this match file is bigger now. So it combined them now. So here's like, so here's me. If I scroll down to the end, see it, then it added in my mom's match files. So John, and then here's my mom, Janice. Let's see. I wonder if we're gonna have to. Pierre, will this reread the chart if I preview it again? Will it reread the match file? No, I don't think
no,
so. I think I've
no.
got a.
No, you'd have
Yeah.
to rename it.
Yeah.
To a different name because.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I just exited Charting Companion. So DNA matrix. Now everything's still the same. Now if I preview, use multi-line. Oops. Yeah, see now there's 2 lines of data. Because now seeing how I match, but then now also how my mom matches them. So I'll see like my I match at 353 centimorgans. My mom matches as 757, so that's like a half niece. So somewhere there's an MPE, so it's, but
Non-paternal event.
yeah. Yeah, so either, and as I've been doing is like, I think my grandma is the half sibling, though it's weird. She was born 1914, but they were, and my grandma was born 1914, but they got married in 1911. So it's, don't know. And well, they're not around to ask. So, and I don't know if they'd say if they did, but anyway, but.
What does your color scheme correspond to, John? Your family tree maker color scheme?
Right now it's just sex.
No, I mean the colors, the bars.
Yeah, usually when I do these are family lines. The blue are the DNA test takers. So actually, if I would, here, let me get out of this. Typically when I do just a strictly DNA, what I'll do is I'll clear the color codes. And then I'll just color code just my DNA matches. And these are the people that, and that's just a simple script for, or a simple thing for, who do I have DNA kit packs for?
Okay.
That's all that one is for. So it kind of helps pinpoint. You know, so it's kind of a little easier to tell exactly who are the test takers. So
Sure.
Yeah, cause see here I've got now, yeah, and see this is a little misnomer because this Diana did test, she just didn't test at Ancestry. So, but there's a DNA kit back for her, so that's why she's highlighted there. So, but this way you kind of see who the, you know, here mother and daughters tested. Here's Blair and Preston. So, but yeah, so really the whole basis is like download Python, download the script, put the script in with the match files. And then it's like it'll just grab any text file and then it will create the match file. So that's really about all there is to it. Now, if you are a Mac user, let me go up to here. Now this, I haven't, let's see. And actually, I'm gonna free up some system resources here. Let me close down. No, like she, oops. The link to down, someone texted or the link to download the script. Let me repost that. I put the script back in the chat. So.
And you just have to save that link to save the file into the same folder, correct?
Yeah. Yep. And this. Oh, duh. Okay. So, okay. So here I downloaded the Python. So I haven't installed. So I'm installing this. This is a clean install on a Mac. There's just a couple minor changes. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna have this installed, but I was having issues and with the Mac version here, and I had to just completely reload the system, which delayed me. So. I was just installing the Python. Okay, so okay, that's Python, yeah. And downloading the match files, you can, in Firefox on the Mac, you can still download as a text file, but it will still put the HTML extension, even though it is a text file. So after you download the match file on the Mac, you just got to change the extension from HTML to TXT. So let's see. Now we have to go into terminal. Okay, where did it go? Oh, we can go into Python. No, we don't need that. Okay, yeah, this, my apologies on this because I had to reload and see, that's not what I want. Okay, the idle. This is what. No, that's. Document. Okay, where's there should be terminal somewhere. Why can't I? There's the text file, there's the thing. I gotta. Oh, it's under other. There we go. Terminal.
Terminal, it's utilities.
Yeah. Terminal. There we go. So now then, we need to go to, let's see, what is it, documents? LS document. Allow it. Okay. So, okay, so LS documents, to get to the documents, that's where I stored it. Like I said, I'm rusty on Mac. If you're a Mac user, this will probably be all had how to get to it. Now, instead of Python, because there is Python on here, but it's Python version 2. You need to run this. What we installed was Python 3. So you gotta say Python 3, then the extract dash matches dash 2.csv.py. And I do a typo. Python 3, yes, that is. Okay. Python. Oh, here, let me just do this. I'm gonna just rename this. Do extract. Python 3 extract.py. No such. Oh. Okay, I'm not in the, okay, I wasn't in the documents directory. Okay. CD documents, LS was just list the directory. Okay. Yeah, so it's Python 3, and well, I now just renamed it extract. .py. Okay, so it did it, and then here you can just see it made that matches file. And so now it's the same thing. So now we start a family tree maker. The tree. Okay, I'll get to my oh, it's still loading up. Yeah. Okay, we're on clearance. Now I'll go into charting companion. And this is basically the same thing now. I will yeah, the only main difference between the Windows and Mac, you have to tell it Mac Python 3. And in Firefox, you can still save the file, but it will still retain the HTML extension. So you gotta just rename it to a TXT. Okay, so descendants chart. You know, keep that stuff. Yeah, this will be the same thing now. Here we add the file. This is under documents. Yeah, there's the matches file. Click open. Yep, we're gonna get it. Yep, it doesn't understand those. Click on it, click view. Yeah, it gives that error message. And so here I'll just rename these. Headers again. Oops. No, I said email too. That's fine. That one isn't really used. Sent to Morgan's. Kit 1. That's Kit 2. Let's defined it. So now we can preview it again. And we'll basically get the same chart. Yeah. Oh, other than I've got different, Oh, yeah. Let's redo the of course, yeah, I didn't check this setting, so layout, yeah, let's do spouse below. DNA matrix, show, yeah, display kits with DNA kits only. That's what, yeah. Yeah, oh, this doesn't work good with, I was experimenting with the dark theme and well, obviously that doesn't work well. Um,
Video chat. Can I tell you
Go.
later? I'm on a live chat.
no, it displays it. It's I don't want software updates. Let's see here, display.
Far right, the blue box on the far right.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Display color. No, I don't think this is it. What I want.
Wouldn't be general, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Very full screen. Oh yeah, appearance light. Here we go. There we go.
I've made a note here, an enhancement, Mac dark theme, the DNA matrix use a white font.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically we got the same type of thing here. So it's so are there any questions? I mean, like I said, it's just Firefox, you got to rename the extension and use Python 3 rather than Python. So
That's really cool, John. I wonder why he didn't scan the HTML.
that's just the way he did it. And like I said, there was another script. Like here in this one, here's this one. It's like sniff Ancestry, but it's like I cannot get this to work for the life of me on the Mac, and I had a dickens of a time getting it to work on the Windows version because it needed all these other prerequisites. But this one does actually, the sniff Ancestry, and if you just do a search on GitHub for sniff Ancestry, you can find this.
It also parses saved files.
It works along the same method, only it works it tells you to save the file as an HTML file.
Oh, so he does have a script for the HTML.
Yeah, but it's a different user wrote that one.
Oh,
But then there's other prerequisites like this. There's other prerequisites that you have to download to Python. It uses these extra packages. And like I said, I found it extremely difficult to get to.
yeah, that's the thing with Python. There's a lot of packages, but you
Yeah.
got to manage all that stuff and it becomes very tricky to install and so on.
Yeah.
It's possible to convert a Python program to an executable, an EXE.
Yeah.
That might be an interesting approach to save the folks from the hassle of downloading Python.
Yeah. Lakeisha wrote, any tips for entering the DNA marker data for each person other than entering them one by one? Well, in Family Tree Maker, yeah, really, that's about the only way you can do it. other than, let me exit out of Charting Companion. What I do here is I customize the view here. And see, and I have the DNA kit or DNA markers fact. So like if I got it from the match file, it's like I can literally just copy and paste it right from here. I can go to the person, look them up here, you know, if they're in my, if I've got them in my tree, say, oh yeah, that's my first cousin or second cousin, Sally, you know, I can go to them from the match file. I can grab that match number, and then I can just paste it right into here, and then that will create it. So that's usually what I do. And then you only have to go over here to the person kit is, well, if you saw like on myself, I mean, I've got like about 5 DNA kits because Ancestry knows me by this number. GEDmatch knows me by another number. MyHeritage knows me by something else. 23andMe knows me by yet another number. So I've got multiple DNA kit facts for myself and for other people too. And
You're not sharing your screen, John.
oh, I'm sorry. Let me. Okay, I'm sharing. Yeah, down here I can customize the view here to add this DNA kit fact. And so that shows up right down here. So I can just copy and paste it, you know, like I said, from my match file, or even, you know, from Ancestry itself. If you do know it, because I download my match files about once a month. So, I mean, I may not, I mean, I typically do them like around the first of the month. So it's like I'm, you know, go to DNA matches, you know, so like say my mother here, I don't know if you can see at the very bottom here, see it gives a web address. You know, compare this one number with this. Well, the second number, I'll just copy the link. And then, let me actually close out of, I don't think I need to be tying up my system resources on the, yeah, I'm going to just go back to the Windows version. So yeah, so I just copied this link right there. And then now, and then I can just paste it right into here. And then I just have to keep everything after this with. So basically just do that. Then I can just delete everything else. And then, well, this is my mom and not my great grandpa, but my mom's still living. So, but assuming this was the match to Clarence, which, oh, I'd love to have his DNA, but well, he died in 79. So, but if you're on the person that you just have to copy it onto their respective thing. So, and then it creates the DNA kit or markers fact. So that's usually when I start doing this, looking at new matches, and it's like, oh, okay, my cousin Brad finally tested. So I go to Brad and I just copy it in there, and then even if it was like brand new, well, like I said, I downloaded the matches about 5 days ago, so odds are he's already in the match file. So, but any other questions?
Very impressive, really cool.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is just an alternative. If you're using the DNA Match Manager from Heirloom Software, which is now which is no longer around, but if you still have it, use that. I still do the DNA JCOM client. This isn't like a thing like to replace it. This is just another way of doing it. Especially since the Heirloom software, it doesn't, the company isn't around anymore. And the DNA JCOM client, you know, that's a paid service. That's like $5 a month, $50 a year. Jim actually has a question for you, Pierre. He says, why was the pop-up added when you open CC that the plugin is running? Oh, and you have to wait and not click continue. Oh, that's part of Family Tree Maker.
Yeah, that's under Family Tree Maker's control. They found that users were confused. Without that message, you just get the spinning wheel, and some people would sit there waiting for something to happen. They didn't realize that they had to click on Charting Companion. We try to grab the focus, but sometimes other things are happening. So it was to make it clear that Family Tree Maker's locked up. You must now switch over to Charting Companion.
Yeah, because you can't use Family Tree Maker while Charting Companion's running. And the same thing goes with the other plugin, Family Book Creator. You know, you have to close the plugin in order to use it. So that's why.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would be way too complicated.
Yeah.
If you could flip back and forth, you could change the data, you know, effectively pulling the rug from under the plugin.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
So any other questions?
Does this script work only with Ancestry data?
Yes, it is geared specifically to the Ancestry website. Now, and really, for any other site, you really don't need it. Because MyHeritage, you can download it directly. 23andMe, you can download it directly. GEDmatch, you can copy and paste. You have to give it headers. And then you might have to do like I did, and you have to assign the header columns. So yeah, with the others, you don't need it. And charting, MyHeritage, 23andMe, Charting Companion automatically recognizes those file formats, so you don't even have to tell it.
Okay, thank you.
So, well, Carolyn said somehow I missed a step, so I'm going to go back and watch the recording. I don't know which step you felt you missed.
Basically the getting to the command prompt and stuff, it somehow my brain just missed, because I got the command prompt open, but getting the script to actually run from that point, I can't get it to do it. So
okay, yeah, because it's like you go into the CMD command prompt,
right.
then you have to go to on mine it's on the D drive, so I switch over to the D drive. And then I type in CD, that's change directory, and then I go to where it is now.
Right.
A trick is here I've got it open up in File Explorer, you know, so I just click on here at the heading. So here it tells me it's DJ, Fossey, Dropbox, genealogy matches. So I just copy that, Control C. And then here I got the CD for change directory space, and then I paste it. So CD, then, so boom, I'm there in that directory.
Right. And I'm in the right directory, but it's just running through and getting it to run the actual script is apparently where my problem was.
Yeah, so here I've got the script in this directory. That extract matches to CSV. And like I said, you can rename that if you want something quicker to type.
Right.
And then the text file or multiple text files are in there. But then, I mean, then you just say extract matches to csv.py. And then boom. I mean, and you just do have to be careful because it will always overwrite if that matches file already exists. It will just overwrite it. So if you want separate match files for separate things,
Right, you have to rename
maybe
something.
rename it to something else, but likewise they can all the kits can all be in one big match file if you want. So
Okay, so I get that's what it is. It created the file and I wasn't even noticing.
yeah. Yeah, because really it's like you type
Yeah, because
then
it just
comes-
blinks and it goes back and I'm going, okay.
yeah, there's no like confirmation or well, I think
Okay.
it's
So at some point I did get it to work because it created the file. Because I was like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, there it is.
and actually it'd probably be pretty easy. I could probably put in a prompt saying file created or or done or something, but
Yeah, but I was gonna say, as long as you realize that it's there,
Yeah.
I was like, I was having trouble getting the change directory.
Yeah.
And I kind of patched my way through that while you were talking, and I was like, okay, oh wait, the file is there.
Yeah.
When I did another directory to see what was there.
Yeah. And like I said, the only thing is, yeah, you would have to modify that PY, but that script file if you want matches smaller than 22 centimorgans. But like I said, it's like this is just a notepad, and it's yeah, right down here. Well, here I changed it to 8, but but yeah, it can be tough finding out who those.
I was one of those
22
people who
is.
used, I think, his script to go back in and save my 6 to 8s
Yeah.
on several of my files.
Yeah.
But my list of DNA match files looks about like yours does.
Yeah.
There's over
Well,
20
yeah,
of
it's
them.
like with all the kits, it's like, yeah, I've got like just Ancestry. I've got like 800,000 matches in all the various kits, and then not taking into account my heritage and GEDmatch and 23andMe, and yeah, I think
I have been using the GDAT tool trying to pull all of those together so that I can at least, but I'm still working on learning that. So
well, any other questions or even anything in general about Charting Companion? So I'm here, Pierre, the creator's here, so you can't get a more reliable source than Pierre. Oh, we got a chat here. Oh, that was just a thank you. So
I say, Pierre, thank you for doing the Charting Companion because it's been a really good tool.
yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. Very pleased.
I really haven't delved too deeply into Charting Companion. How did you get to the DNA matrix?
Oh, yeah, I'm still sharing. So yeah, you can just click on the print reports icon either here, or you can go up to charts and repair reports and do descendants chart. Or this, and then just select it.
Thank you.
So, and then you just have to remember on the DNA matrix to make sure this is checked to say display the DNA matrix. And likewise, if you want to go back and just create just a regular descendants chart, make sure you uncheck this. Otherwise, I mean, this is what determines whether or not it's a regular descendants chart or a DNA matrix. So,
okay.
So, because I've done that mistake where I want just a regular descendants chart, and then it's like, oh, why is it taking? Oh, it's loading up the match files. Oh, and like I said, it's like, I mean, I'll have 60, 70 match files that it loads in. So it can take a while, and that's why it's like I really like Charting Companion 8 because now it's 64-bit, so it does better with handling these big files. And
It's amazing how big these files can get.
yeah, back when I was doing like one of these the DNA simulator, this is back in Charting Companion 7, I think I had to wind up exporting my tree as a JEDCOM because I had so many match files, and I was matching like my siblings, my mom, or no, it wasn't my mom because it's on my dad's side, but so it was my siblings, my aunt and uncle, and then we had another family group of a father and his 2 daughters. He was like a 4th cousin. And how we all matched this this other family where is a mother and 4 kids, and we're trying to place them in the tree because it's like, okay, we're related. And I mean, my last name's Foss-Bender. The mother's maiden name was Foss-Binder, so it's like
Mhm.
and yeah, but in order to get that to work, I had to use a JEDCOM and just use it as a standalone. And now with Charting Companion 8, I've redone it, and it's like, yeah, now it's no problem. But that was like using like just a ton of match data, so a ton.
I saw that you had both Charting Companion 7 and 8 still loaded. Do you ever go back to 7 for any reason?
Really, about the only reason is like, see, sometimes I will still like beta test when there's new versions for Pierre. So sometimes it's like, that's just kind of a another reference. Okay, did it happen in 7 and I just never noticed, or vice versa? And then plus in the group, there's still some people that still use Charting Companion 7. So, and it's like, and I know someone wanted to do something, and I said, well, here's how you do it. And I showed them a screenshot from 8. And even though it was exactly the same way in 7, they didn't quite get it. So it's like, okay, let's do, here's the screenshot in 7. So it was, you know, more familiar, you know, so. But yeah, I don't use Charting Companion 7 much at all. You know, it's like I stick with 8. It's like Family Book Creator. I've still got 2017 and 19, but only because I'm an admin in Family Book Creator do I even still have 17, because there's no reason to, you know. But so yeah, Linda said, yep, great Charting Companion has helped me so many times solve biological parent searches. So yeah. It's, yeah, that DNA simulator. Yeah, once you get your, there's classes on how to more in depth on setting up the DNA matrix. This one is primarily about using the Python script. There are classes just specifically on the DNA matrix, setting it up. And I'll even go through, you know, on MyHeritage and GEDmatch and 23andMe. And then other classes I'm using the DNA simulator, and you don't want to dive right into the DNA simulator because that's here, because you have to be able to do the DNA matrix first. Because the DNA simulator is just an offshoot of that. And that's, yeah, I think I can show you the output of one of them. Oops. That's just a matter of where did I keep them, or where did I store them? Well, actually, it's probably, the last one I was on is probably right here in the documents. Yeah. Yeah, this is one where it's like, okay, I've got to do more targeted testing. Oh yeah, here's, no, yeah, oh yeah, that one was 0 scenarios, so that's not a good example. Yeah, this is one, yeah, you know, where because it'll do the DNA matrix, and then here it'll insert people. And then this particular example came out with 6 scenarios. I'm not sure which one this one was. Because oh, this is for my aunt. Okay. Because this is my aunt who at the time she didn't know who her father was. And but yeah, she had a match with these four women. This MMSSCDKW. And they're mother-daughter pairs, and the mothers were half sisters. They shared a common father, who was a womanizing alcoholic. Was how it was described to me. So yeah, so I've narrowed down 6 scenarios as to where they might fall into line, and but this is kind of fallen down the back burner. It's like my aunt wasn't too concerned. These ladies weren't too terribly concerned, but we have an idea where they were. But so, and if we do some more targeted testing, because all I know is how my aunt, yeah, this JS right here, yeah, matches these women. But if we get her half brother here, if I could find out how he matches them, that could help narrow down possibilities. And so, but I haven't got that information. So, but that's the DNA simulator, and because it kind of shows, okay, this WW is her father. So it's like, okay, so this PM could be, what is that? First cousin. Or here it could be a first cousin once removed, twice removed. Here could be a half uncle, half first cousin, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's exciting to see it used in real life like this.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it would have been just like my aunt, just to like one of these ladies and the others didn't test, the simulator would have been useless, because it's like there's just too many possibilities. But to either have multiple people match the one person or vice versa, it helps a lot. Or like that one in the Fossbenders where I had a lot of matched out of how everyone matched everyone.
Pierre, I have a question about that with the DNA simulator, because it kind of throws me into kind of the what are the odds tool that's out there.
That's what I was thinking of.
I was going to say, but if I'm using this as like to find out where one of my matches, who matches my other matches, would work, would this kind of give me an idea of where they should fit? Like if I don't have access to their matches to know how they match those, but I know how I match those other people.
You're going to need some DNA in common. You're going to need some match.
Right.
material.
Our shared matches. Because
Yeah.
I was going to say, I have a second cousin sort of who I'm trying to figure out where he fits, because he knows his father isn't his father, but the person and the paperwork that he has leads to either I've got a great uncle who had a kid we didn't know about, or one of his kids had a kid and it doesn't match up with his paperwork. So
Yeah, I think it could help if you've got DNA tests linking these people. That simulation will suggest all the places where that person could fit.
yeah, that would help, because I do have quite a bit of DNA testing amongst my family that would help to slot him in, because I know we've got 3 particular ones that are fairly close matches that might help to figure that out, because and I've got them on different websites. So
The more you have, the more tightly it can triangulate where the person belongs. And
Awesome.
you can, Charting Companion can process multiple match files from different sources simultaneously. You throw them all together. They don't all
Yeah,
have to be from one
because I
source.
have some from 23andMe. He's on both 23andMe and Ancestry. So I've got matches from both systems that are different on each system for him and I both.
That would be very interesting to see how that rolls out. I definitely think there's an opportunity there.
I was gonna say I may message you and let you know how it finds out, because right now I haven't figured it out, but I haven't pushed him about the information because his father who raised him passed away this year. So
I'd love to know.
I was gonna say, I told him, I said, well, you fit somewhere in my family, so your family.
By the way, it should be pointed out, John is using the anonymization function. All of these boxes, people are reduced to their initials. That's automatically done by Charting Companion in order to prepare the chart for sharing with the public, sharing with strangers. It converts the names to just their initials.
I really like that function.
Yeah, it's automatic. John didn't have to do any editing or changing of names.
Yeah, because that's just right here, anonymized initials only. So
That's really good.
I knew people were going to share these, and
yeah,
sometimes you might not want to expose the names.
yeah, I know. Yeah, because like on this one, for using that, you have to start with who you believe is a common ancestor. And I was able to determine that using shared matches, because these didn't match any of her first cousins on her mom's side or her half sister on her mom's side. So that's why it's like, okay, it's got to be her father's side. And the ZM is actually I go over this in the DNA simulator class, this very simulation, because I know, because I started from like this FZ or PM, the wife,
Right.
and it came up with 0 scenarios. So, okay, so it's got to be one of their parents. So this is either FZ's parent or it's PM's parent.
Right. You have to sometimes go back just one more.
Yeah,
to
I had to
figure
go
it
up
out.
this like one more generation. So it's one of their parents. So it could be like Zemelinsky or like Marshuka or something. I don't know. It's been a while.
Mouthful names.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to say it.
So
Who's the
and
woman?
likewise, if I started researching this father, it's like this PM, this womanizing alcoholic. See, I haven't started researching him. Mainly, I don't have a lot of data. It's like I kind of only have a guesstimate as to when he was born. So, but it's like, yeah, it's like if I go up a couple generations, maybe I'll probably find one of these surnames. So I could probably figure it out. But
tie it back together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, well, that's like a low priority thing. I got about 100 other things I'd rather figure
I was going to
out.
say, it's kind of like my sister and I making fun of my mom last night because I had to fill out some paperwork for her and list all of the names she's ever been known by. She's been married 5 times. No big deal. You know, we all have what we have. But I asked her, I said, did you not look at the marriage application for you and your second husband? She says, no, why? Well, he'd been married 5 times before you, and I found he's been married at least twice after you, even though you guys were only married for 7 months. So, yeah, I know all about some of those womanizing people. I mean, my sister and I have found the man was married at least once a year to a different woman.
Yeah.
So, like, well, I'm glad he wasn't part of our genetic pool.
Yeah. Well, it's like, well, my grandfather I found due to DNA, and My dad never knew who he was. And I mean, I think, and he died in an accident when, I mean, my dad was probably like 21.
Wow.
But like I said, he didn't know it, and his mom actually went out of the way to make sure he never even knew she was pregnant. So
I
but-
was going to say, my sister and I have determined we're half sisters, actually, different fathers. And we have determined that somewhere distantly, we're both, our fathers were related
yeah.
because her father's name shows up in my tree and my father's name shows up in her tree.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, it's like I was trying to find a picture of my grandfather. I finally found his confirmation picture because
Wow.
I know where he was baptized and confirmed, and it's the same church, and the same church still exists.
Wow.
And I just happened to email him, and that afternoon I got his confirmation picture,
Oh.
his class, and there were all the people were labeled, and I know he did finally get married about 3 months before he died, and but I can't find anything on the woman other than I know who her parents were, but on the marriage thing, it was my grandfather's first marriage, but it was her third marriage. And like I said, they were only about married 3 months when he died. So odds are she probably married someone else, but so, but you know, hey, it is what it is.
It is. And if they've been married more than once and they've got kids, like my mom after her second marriage went back to her first married name.
Yeah.
Because she had a son with that name. So if I didn't know that, or I didn't know my dad's name, I wouldn't know how to find their marriage record because I wouldn't have found it under either of the names from before.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of interesting things. So, well, any other questions? If not, we'll probably sign off, and this will probably be up on YouTube later tonight. So,
Thank you very much, John. That's very informative. It's a
Yep.
pleasure meeting all you folks. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
no problem.
Okay.
I do have a
Thank
really
you.
quick question, John, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Um, is it okay for us to share this publicly? Because I know like I think it was one of the other ones got the cease and desist order from Ancestry.
Well, yeah. Well, this really just uses Ancestry's own page.
Yeah.
I mean, you load up your matches like you would normally, and then all you're doing is saving the page.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I think it's great.
So-
but-
It's not going in and actually scraping the data itself. That's
Yeah.
probably where they got some of the cease and desist, is they were actually going in and scraping the data and getting more data out of it than
Yeah.
just what's visible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is only getting what's on the screen, which you can readily see, and it just basically saves you a bunch of typing.
Yeah.
So
The link for YouTube, will it be in this on this page, in this chat?
I probably won't put it on the chat. I'll probably put it. Well, I guess I could put it in the chat. But actually, in the charting, it will be in the unofficial YouTube channel, because if you go here to Charting Companion, and then these featured posts, user's guide. Yeah, this thing I've decided to make the videos public. This is a link to my YouTube channel,
Okay.
and it'll be posted here, and you can see all of them. This is where you'll see, and there's also like some family book creator things, but here's where here's a DNA simulator class. here's just a Q&A. Yeah, here's another DNA simulator. And then no, there's, yeah, here I go through the undefined match files, how to set them up, and DNA, yeah, DNA workshop, that was a combination. Oh yeah, here's the DNA matrix class. And then here's the DNA simulator class. So, and yeah, it's like definitely watch the DNA matrix before the simulator, because everything in the simulator is going to assume you know how to do the DNA matrix class.
That's good.
But so, and these are public, so anyone on YouTube can see them. So if you'd want to send a link to a particular video to someone, go for it. So, but okay, well, I guess we'll sign off, and I'll be doing this all again tomorrow morning, so in about less than
Have
12
fun.
hours. So
Have fun with that.
All right.
yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you very much.
take care,
Thank you.
everyone.
Have a
Thanks
good
for
night.
coming.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.